Okay, now on to Scorpio. Now, Scorpios get a lot of flack, but sex, going to the toilet, and other rubbish have to belong to a sign, and that sign would be Scorpio. Scorpios, for the past couple of years, you've been really straight talking, no shitting around, and you have been learning an awful lot, and your inquisitive mind has led you to very strange places and very dark places, and in your investigation, you will be encountering very powerful people and very powerful experiences that will inevitably change the way you perceive the world.
It has tremendous ability to be a catalyst for change, both in themselves but also for other people.
Yeah.
And I think with this solar eclipse happening at the end of Leo, they're going to be challenged to actually do that, particularly in terms of their career. They're going to want to actually make a statement and come out and create something and establish some part of themselves. Maybe they're writing a book, or maybe they're working on a long-term project at work of the last
or
year or
teaching
two.
people
Teaching
something,
something.
Talking and communicating in some way.
Learning from relationships. So they may have found that over the last couple of years, relationships become muddled with sort of work concerns, or the partner's work concerns and their own work concerns, and it actually gets worse if they start talking about work stuff to each other. So a piece of advice for this year would be for Scorpio to just, the less they talk about their work to their partner, the better it will be, because Scorpio, being a sign of Mars, always does better when they are dealing with their own shit in their own power. For Scorpios who are not approaching this in a more positive way or leaning into their energy a lot more, what could happen is that they may become envious of their partners,
jealous,
and those sort of things.
Possessive and
very possessive,
trying to control,
not being able to let go, but at the same time not struggling to understand their career and my career and how does the relationship fit with that. And my piece of advice is just separate those two and allow each person in the relationship to deal with their own career stuff individually in their own right, and respect each other that way. Coming into middle of January would be a good time to start to communicate your intentions with that and allow that to ease, because I think by August you're going to have a lot of new opportunities coming your way, even though friendships and alliances may be changing at the time, but that is opening up new space, new energy space for you to deal with, have better relationships, especially have more financial gain. The more you relinquish debt monetarily, but also debt with other people's energy, you are going to be welcoming a lot more energy coming September.
Okay.
Cool.
Right, now we're on to deep mystical Scorpio for 2017.
Yes, Scorpio, penetrating the depths, ruled by Mars. First and foremost, I must say the planet Saturn is in Scorpio, as we are all aware. So this puts Saturn on your Lagna. So for Scorpios 2017, you may find that things are a little bit difficult. Saturn again is about that concrete, making things structural. He can really sort of hold us back, not so much failure, but be careful in terms of what you're doing, making sure you're doing things properly. So you may feel a little bit inhibited or boxed in and inhibited in some kind of way, shape or form. But don't worry about this. This means that you just need to really work really, really hard. You need to really structure yourself and develop your sense of authority. So Saturn on your Lagna definitely will be felt during the course of 2007. For those of you who also have Moon in Scorpio as well, this can be quite a pivotal and a challenging time as well, as Saturn is also going to be going over your Moon. So Scorpios, Scorpio Moons and Lagna Scorpios as well will all feel the pinch and the weight of Saturn as he is going through Scorpio. However, during the course of the year, Saturn will move into Sagittarius, so at some point he will move from your Lagna into your second house, which is the house of resources, finances, money, So you may have to become structural more around that. The second house is also the voice. So perhaps maybe your how you're vocaling yourself, how you're putting yourself out there also may need to be looked at, and you may need to structure your words very, very well, and watch your money, your spending habits. To look at planets Mars, which is the ruling planet of your sign. Mars is going to be in the 4th house. Now this is a Kendra house, so again, it's quite positive. It's an angular house. It does give some advantages there in and around the home. Also, we have to remember that Rahu Ketu is also going to be in your 4th house and 10th house axis. They will move during the course of the year, but at the beginning of the year, they are going to be in your 4th and 10th house. So again, home matters, career matters are the ones. This is where the balance, the 4th and 10th house is really about home and career and your public image. So there may be, again, lots of changes, lots of focusing around these particular areas of your life. Career changes, career shifts, moving home that affect your career also will be things that do take place.
It's a really good time to let go, to have a good clear out of your
Yes.
home, because you'll have a lot of physical energy, Mars in your 4th house, and obviously Ketu is about letting go.
Yeah.
So time to get stuff to the charity shops, clear stuff, and
Yeah.
so that you can then move easily.
And especially with Neptune there as well,
Yeah.
that will just add to that. And again, I couldn't agree with you more in terms of clearing out and taking things to the charity shop, because charity shops also, they do a lot of charity work, which is considered
Ketu.
very
It's Ketu.
spiritual. So yeah.
Watch for water problems.
Yes. Yeah. That's also another thing. Yeah, don't go swimming in that. Not at home. And then during the course of the year, Rahu and Ketu will move into your 9th and 3rd house axis. So this is again the learning axis. Rahu is going to be in your 9th house, which is to do with the guru, is to do with the spiritual matters, long distance traveling, broadening your horizon, higher studies, perhaps going to university, to doing a course where you're studying something much more spiritual, much more of a higher dimension. So these are the matters that are going to come into focus. 3rd house, Ketu, will be in your 3rd house alongside Neptune. 3rd house is also a mental house, but it's more lower mind. So perhaps maybe there's something that you deal with on a more lower mind in terms of how you're thinking that needs to let go of, so it can transmute and transform, and it can appear with Rahu in the 9th house, where you're thinking much more long term, much more wider term, much more spiritual, on much more spiritual terms too.
Yeah, lower mind meaning, mundane matters
Yes.
rather than conceptual matters.
Yes.
So again,
Definitely.
it might relate to all of this stuff about the house. How are we going to plan this? How are we going to do all of that?
Yes. And finally, just to mention Jupiter, Guru is going to be in your 11th house, which is the house of gains. So this is quite nice, but so you may improve in terms of your gains from work and wages. And during the course of the year, Jupiter will move into your 12th house. This is very good. Jupiter in the 12th house is very good, very spiritual, very liberating, very protective. So it's almost like you're going to have the guardian angel again watching over you for the Scorpio. So that's also very, very good to you.